Hooray for Hollywood. And look at this, Belfast's answer to Bridgerton.
Yeah, it's a big old brute of a home, isn't it? Definitely not what we would expect of an 1850s villa from outside.
No. But Patricia, is there an easy way to update this kind of historical architecture?
No, there's no need to kind of do a pastiche. You can totally bring in contemporary elements to it to reflect the way we live today.
You say there's no need to do a pastiche, but I think we were all built for a bustle. I think we would look amazing in a bustle.
We would, you would be great.
Are you looking forward to a bit of a costume drama in here?
Like, there might be. What a sense of grandeur, but at the same time very understated, and what a view.
Wow, gosh. Yes. Houses like this obviously come with a lot of history, a lot of association. And I think to get it to work for now, you've got to be big. To paraphrase, you've got to be big to make it home. You've also got to be prepared to put every single little atom of who you are into it.
Melmore House dates back to 1855, and its surrounding high hedges are evidence of a previous occupant, a chief constable. Today, it's Fiona, Jonathan, and their 3 children that live within the period property, which the family have completely renovated.
So you knew this house. Was it a bit of a fairy tale house for you?
I had my eye on it over the years because it'd been on and off the market.
What kind of state was this in when you...
I think you text me, and your words were, it's got dry rot, wet rot, damp, Japanese knotweed, but I love it.
Well, I mean, when we came through the doors, it had been lived in for years. Really dark, really dismal. They obviously lived at the back of the house.
Weird.
So these rooms, with all the beautiful sea views, weren't lived in at all. So we thought, of course, we'd bring the living area here, because it's just about the views.
What you have done is absolutely what you've got to do with a house like this. You've not got to let it win.
There was moments we were nervous about taking this project on.
At one point, there was barely anything left of the house. It was just the bare brick. The whole side of it was gone. It was like a doll's house with the whole side missing. And that was a bit scary.
It is very elegant. It is quite fashion orientated. How would you sum up what you've done here?
It's definitely old meets new. I was always drawn to that sort of Parisian apartment type feel with the lovely parquet floors, ornate ceilings, original features, but then having more colourful, modern pieces of furniture. But it's a family home, and we have 3 young, boisterous, funny, happy kids, so I wanted it to be colourful and happy, I think.
You must be very proud.
I think we're definitely very proud because we've never done anything like this before.
I like the way you're involving him.
Yeah, but I think it's also, no, I'm proud, you know, this is your passion. You have built a family home for us. And I think that's the most important thing for us, really.
Melmore's complete renovation took 16 months from start to finish. Downstairs, sliding doors lead from a lounge through to an open-plan dining kitchen area. An extension leads down to a sunken living space. What was the servants' quarters is now a cinema room and a second kitchen. A children's playroom, bathroom and utility room complete the downstairs. Upstairs, split over 2 levels, features 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, including the master bedroom, which features a balcony with a view out to the loft. Sliding doors are used again in the master to lead through to an ensuite and dressing room. There's also an office space.
This is real sort of international grand luxe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's giving me like lush luxe vibes, almost Studio 4 meets Victoriana. It could have been very heavy, very staid, but what the homeowners have done here, they've brought it right up to date. It's a very on-trend home.
What they've, I think, done very successfully is dialed back any kind of sense of trying to underplay this house.
It's almost minimalism for maximalists.
Yeah, or maximalism for minimalists.
Yeah, either or.
Or midi-malism.
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 That's a good one.
That'll be it.
Get
That'll be it.
Get that copyrighted.
Have that tattooed somewhere. I don't know where you've got space, but you know. I see a real influence from travel here as well, because there's a lot of sort of hotel design.
Yeah.
Things like the way that the basins are in the bathroom with that kind of dividing wall.
Completely, and it's that clever use of the play of colour against one another, that lovely saffron yellow against that dusty pink. They shouldn't work, but they do really successfully.
There's always a little thing in here that is, as you say, louche.
A little, you know. There's a little sparkle alert, little sort of je ne sais quoi about everything.
Annoying we've got to use French to say that, you know. If only we had an Irish word for it.
Quality.
Oh, there we go. It's very a la mode. It's kind of, I feel as if we're on the cover of a glossy magazine, Jane.
It's very elegant, and that's the wonderful Victorian proportions coming into play. We've got tall ceilings, lovely big windows.
You know, the Victorians loved little, cluttery, cosy spaces, and we don't, do we? We want everything to be big, open, and very, very wafty.
It's that desire for open plan, but I think they've struck the right balance here in keeping those smaller spaces that function as quiet, cosy, snug rooms, and then just taking down the walls that would have been around the scullery, the pantry, the back of house, servants' quarters, and making this into the big family room. This is where you want to party.
And then this is new. This is the addition. This is obviously now giving a phenomenal ability to be not quite in the garden.
You get the sense of being in the landscape. We've got the lovely trees, we've got the hills on the other side of Belfast Lough, the ferries going past. You are in the landscape when you're in this room.
Schlinky malinky.
It's very glamorous.
You'll find. I think it is extremely, of course, made even more glamorous now you have entered, Milady Patrizia. Very continental.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think the curves really add a lovely glamour to it. I love the use of colour, like a little bit odd.
It's clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
To me, the unifier here is the design commitment.
Let's go for this.
Jazz
And
hands.
Really, really, we can see that coming through the light. A fiddly little tiny light fitting up there would have kind of made a mockery of the entire thing. To make it more livable and to make it more cosy, particularly in the evening, I think they could go for a few floor lamps would be great.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
I think the only thing lacking in our world right here, right now, Patricia, is a cocktail.
Absolutely.
But just the one, mind.
One
Just the one
each.
cocktail.
Yeah.
No,
To
one
share,
cocktail.
2 straws.
2 straws.
Yeah, cute.
For Fiona and Jonathan, living in a house like this could have meant living up to a house like this, but instead they've combined the old and the new and added their own twist of continental style to make this place theirs. The homeowners in our third house have a similar attitude to the past, but it's a more recent history as they indulge their love for upcycling and vintage.